legends, I hope you're all fantastic. Today, we're going to take a look at some classic effect emulations on the Axe FX3, and a massive shout out to my buddy Nicholas over in Sweden for doing all the heavy lifting with these blocks and presets. These are available for free. I will put a link in the video description. And basically, I went back and forth with Nicholas via email, and we recorded a bunch of test signals through some of my old units like the Yamaha SPX90, my Eventide H3000, and my Boss CE1, as well as the chorus effect in my old 88 MP1. So we're going to take a look at versions of those in the Axe FX3, and I've tested these, and these are super accurate to my hardware units with things like the old CE1, you know, kind of weird, funky analog choruses. You have a lot of factors in there where probably no two units sound exactly the same with the same settings. But for me, I'm super stoked because all those old units are kind of noisy and a little bit unreliable, and the Axe FX3 is dead quiet and super reliable. So it's pretty fun having all that kind of stuff in here. We're going to start with the CE1. This is the preset that Nicholas shared, and I'll just let you hear the clean sound. I think we're using the twin model together with some legacy cabs in stereo. There's a bit of reverb and there's a bit of compression in there. I think this is just a great straight up clean preset to get started. I like that a lot. Now, the CE1 has two modes, a chorus mode, which has a single knob labeled intensity, and a vibrato mode where you've got depth and rate. And a kind of quirk of that unit is that if you run it in stereo, what you actually end up with is a wet-dry scenario. So you can see in order to emulate that, there is a dry line here, and then there is a chorus block. This entire block is for the chorus side of the CE1, and then this block is for the so-called vibrato mode, which is actually just another chorus with a higher rate and depth. And then there's a mixer block here, which deals with the balance and the relative levels between everything. So when we go to scene 2 on this preset, it's going to be using this analog mono chorus, and this is imitating the CE1 with the intensity at minimum. Very, very subtle. My favorite setting is with the intensity control at noon, which is modeled in this particular scene here. That is gorgeous. I'll show you my favorite vibrato setting, and then we will move on. With the vibrato depth at 3 and the rate at 1, you get a really lovely, wide, subtle chorus on there. Check it out. And you'll notice the dry isn't as loud as the affected signal. The CE1 that I own exhibits exactly the same property. Now, I've built a version of this preset where I have just subbed in the Atomica High and my go-to greenback cab. Same chorus settings. I find if you just go with the chorus at noon setting on this, you kind of get a late 70s, early 80s Alex Lifeson kind of vibe out of it. Wonderful stuff right there. Let's move on to the ADA chorus. And for anyone who's not familiar with the ADA MP1 preamp, it is a tube preamp where you've got a tube clean and a tube distortion mode, but there's also a solid state clean that contains a compressor circuit, and there's also chorus in there as well. And I love the way the chorus in that unit sounds. So again, similar idea where it's an analog chorus, but there's actually a hardware phase reversal going on it. So you can see in this particular block, we've got the phase reverse set to right. And another thing that happens is you have the actual volume of the chorus change when the chorus is doing its thing. So you can see here, the rate is actually synced to a controller in here, LFO number 1. So you can see the rate there. And then let's go back to the chorus block, and the level and the rate, I think they're kind of moving out of phase. So it just creates an interesting effect. And this chorus generally is kind of unusable at most settings. I think anything with the depth higher than about 30 gets way too wobbly. There is a setting in there with the depth at 50 and the rate at 30, but depth at 25, rate at 10 is one of my favorite chorus sounds on here. And then we'll hear the kind of fun trick you can do with it, where you just get like a spatial expander by setting the depth to 100 and the rate to 0. Beautiful. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the sort of chorus sound Ty Tabor would use. And let's hear this with some dirt. I'm using the Cameron CCV in here. And let's go to scene 6, because this is with the rate at a minimum. And it's just basically giving you a phase reverse style thing on here, similar to what something like the enhancer block would do. But this one sounds huge. If you like the ADA thing, I'll post this preset up as well. So it kind of has that Nuno, Pornograffiti, early Mr. Big, Paul Gilbert thing going on, especially with a really bright guitar and a bright amp like that. I love the way that just kind of makes everything sound wider. Does exactly what the real ADA does when you set the depth on 100 and the rate at 0. That's one of my favorite little hacks on that unit. Let's check out some Eventide H3000 pitch shifting on here. I'll go to scene 1 on this preset. So there are 2 classic pitch shift or micro pitch shift presets on the H3000. I've got a 3500, which is just the 3000 with the sampling board. So it's got the same presets, preset 231 and preset 519. And 231 is the classic one as used by guys like Lukather and Eddie Van Halen. But if you're a Michael Thompson fan and you like his clean sound, it's actually preset 519. That's the classic one there. They're both classic. They both sound amazing. They use different algorithms though, and they sound subtly different. So I've cooked up a little preset here to kind of demonstrate these. Again, we measured my hardware unit and Nicholas was able to do their magic and make them sound identical. So we'll hear the preset number 231. This is the classic one, and then we'll hear the Michael Thompson inspired one. Sounds really, really lovely. Have a listen to this preset though. The pitch tracking is a little bit different here. And to me, this just sounds a little bit wider and a little bit smoother. Now, a popular trick with that preset was to take the pitch voices and increase the delay on them. So what I've done is I've just added 400 milliseconds to each of those, and you get this really beautiful sounding lush delay. course, with some filth from the Mark IV model, just run you through the preset 231, 519, and then the delays preset. With the delays, so awesome. Those are available as blocks. Like I said, I'll link those in the video description along with the presets that I've cooked up with them. And then to ride out the Yamaha SPX90 symphonic setting and detune are also available as blocks. And I put together a little preset with my favorite amp settings. I just have to play No More Tears with this symphonic setting to play you all out. So hope you all enjoyed the tones and the video. Again, a massive shout out to Nicholas for putting so much time into accurately recreating these. And it was an absolute pleasure on my end to be involved in this and have some of my hardware units recreated in the axe so that I can take them anywhere. And I think it's pretty awesome that these are shared and are available for free to the whole community, because I feel like that's part of the awesome potential of something like an Axe Effects, not just to sound fantastic and have like the best tone ever and have it super portable and super consistent, is to be able to take these sounds, these classic sounds, these kind of mythical units that now command insane prices, and have them available for the entire community to try. So thank you to Nicholas. Let them know that they are an absolute legend in the comments. If you have any further questions, let me know in the comments. And if you want to support the channel, there's links in the video description. Hope you all have a great day. Let's do some No More Tears.